Let's understand taxation law in this video. Today we will explore what taxation means, why governments collect taxes, and how this affects citizens and businesses. Have you wondered who pays for roads, schools, or hospitals? Taxes do. This video links taxes to things you see every day and in school. Taxation law means the legal rules that decide how taxes are imposed, collected, and managed. It guides governments and protects taxpayer rights in practice. Why taxes exist? They raise revenue to pay for public goods and services like roads, health, education, and national security for everyone. Other objectives include economic stabilization, social equity, and behavioral regulation. For example, using higher tobacco taxes to discourage smoking and protect health. The Constitution gives India the legal basis for taxation and divides power between the Union and the states to keep a federal balance. The 7th schedule divides taxing powers into lists, the Union list and the state list. The concurrent list has no taxing powers assigned. Union taxes include income tax, except agricultural income, corporate tax, customs duty, and central GST, among other central taxes and duties today. State taxes include state GST, stamp duty, land revenue, and professional tax, helping states raise funds for local services and administration effectively. There is no taxing power in the concurrent list, which keeps taxing responsibilities clearly divided between the union and the states today. GST was introduced in 2017 as a unified indirect tax, replacing VAT, service tax, and excise. It simplified indirect taxation across India. GST has a dual structure: CGST collected by the center, SGST by states, and IGST handled by the center for interstate supplies. The GST Council, a constitutional body, decides rates, exemptions, and policies to keep GST consistent across states and union territories nationwide today. Example: if you buy a laptop in Delhi, you pay CGST and SGST. The tax collected is shared between center and state government. Taxes are grouped into direct and indirect types. This distinction matters for who bears the tax and how tax law applies in practice. Direct taxes are imposed on income, wealth, or property. The taxpayer bears this burden directly and cannot pass it to others legally. For example, if you earn 15 lakh rupees a year, you pay income tax as per slabs, like 30% above 10 lakh rupees. Indirect taxes apply to goods and services. Businesses collect these taxes from customers and remit them to the government through pricing regularly. For example, a smartphone priced at 20,000 rupees may include an 18% GST, which the seller forwards to government authority. Key point: direct taxes are mostly progressive, so higher earners pay proportionally more, while indirect taxes are regressive and affect consumers more equally. Tax rules follow principles like equity, certainty, convenience, and economy, which aim to make taxation fair, predictable, easy, and cost-effective overall. Modern principles add neutrality, transparency, and simplicity. For example, the GST portal improves convenience and transparency for taxpayers with online filing and returns. Statutes, rules, notifications, and court decisions together form the statutory framework that defines tax rights, duties, procedures, and penalties in practice now. Major statutes include the Income Tax Act 1961, Central Goods and Services Tax Act 2017, Integrated GST Act, and the Customs Act 1962. Supporting rules include Income Tax Rules 1962, GST Rules 2017, and Customs Rules. For instance, salaried individuals can claim a 50,000 rupee standard deduction under Section 16. Tax administration bodies like the CBDT, CBIC, GST Council, Income Tax Department, and the GST Network manage collections, compliance, and digital services. If disputes arise, the path includes commissioners of appeals, appellate tribunals like the ITAT or GST Appellate Tribunal, high courts, and finally, the Supreme Court. Advanced rulings give clarity on tax liability for complex transactions, and settlement commissions can resolve direct tax disputes amicably in certain cases. Landmark cases like McDowell, Vodafone, Glaxo, and Azadi Bachao show how courts balance revenue goals with protecting taxpayer rights in practice today. International taxation includes double taxation avoidance agreements. India has DTAAs with over 90 countries using exemption or tax credit methods to avoid double taxation. BEPS means base erosion and profit shifting by multinationals. India uses country-by-country reporting and a general anti-avoidance rule to curb aggressive tax avoidance. So what do we learn from this? Taxation law combines constitutional rules, statutes, administration, and judicial decisions to fund public services and protect rights. Let us quickly remember concept and scope, objectives, constitutional basis, GST, tax types, principles, statutes, administration, dispute processes, landmark cases, and international tax. Keep learning at your pace, practice cases, and follow current tax policy updates. Explore EduRev resources gently for CLAT PG preparation and build confidence.